one of the graces of that experience is that I met a woman by the name of Gloria Aldridge, who had begun some work in the parish around the document Open Wide Our Hearts, which is the most recent pastoral letter on racism that came out, I think, in 2018. And pandemic kind of stole its thunder, right? So there's all of these recommendations, pastoral recommendations in the document that nobody could do because it's all like, let's get together, have these conversations, like talk to one another, build community separately in your isolated spaces. But Gloria had started some work with the document. And when I got there, the two of us kind of found each other. And she said, I want to continue working with this document, breaking open this document, but I don't know how we do that if we can't get together and actually talk to each other. So I said, well, I tell you what, let's try out this Zoom thing. Like, I hear good things about this Zoom thing. Let's try this out. And neither one of us is like, I don't know, what is this that you click? Okay. We started with monthly conversations, breaking open the document on Zoom.
Okay.
And I think we had 7 people. And then we had like 12 people. And then we had 15, and then we had 20, and then we had 30, and then we had 40 and 50.
Wow.
And we were, Gloria was the best. Gloria would just call people and say, hey, do you want to come talk to us? And they'd say, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. And so we had some wonderful speakers that came and kind of broke open different topics for us. Mm-hmm. I learned so much. And then the folks that would come and join in the conversations, we're getting more and more diverse. So we had not just Catholics, but we had, folks from other faiths, Jewish folks and Episcopalian folks and Sikh folks and Buddhist folks. And, and they just were really interested in having this conversation with us. And I always say that kind of the secret sauce is that it's very Catholic in its approach, right? So we don't hide the fact that we are Catholic people having a conversation about social justice that is rooted in the Catholic tradition. And for that reason, it's open to everyone.
Yes.
Like, anybody can come and have this conversation with us. And it has continued to grow. So when I came to the diocese about a year and a half ago, Father Norbert Meduja was very kind to let me bring the program with me to the diocese. So we are continuing these conversations around this document, around questions of faith and social justice and racial equality that's very much rooted in our Catholic identity.
What's the name of the document again?
It's called Open Wide Our Hearts, 2018. But there's actually a document that I love even more that is celebrating 40 years this year. It's called What We Have Seen and Heard. And it was written in 1984 by the Black bishops of the United States at that time. Very prophetic document. So if you read it today, it could have been written yesterday.
Really?
Very prophetic document.
Wow.
But Open Wide Our Hearts deals with racism more generally. So it's talking about the sin of racism more generally. And for that reason, it's more general, right? But it's still very specific in the fact that racism is a sin against the dignity of the human person, and that the church has a legacy in the United States of practicing racism. And it's one that we have to own up to so that we can be healed.
Yes.
Right? Sin doesn't heal in darkness.
Yeah.
You got to drag that sucker out in the light.
Yeah.
And what we have seen and heard is speaking, it's the Black bishops who are speaking specifically to Black Catholics in the United States. But what I find really beautiful is that the first part of the document is speaking specifically about the gifts of Black Catholic spirituality. And what are the gifts that are particular to the African American experience of Catholicism. And if you're a Black Catholic, it's so affirming to say, yes, this is what I have seen and heard. This is what I have experienced in my Black Catholic parish, in my Black Catholic family.